Just a quick tutorial on how to install the ultimate fifth wheel connection by Andersen. So this got a 24,000 pound GTWR and 4,500 pound tongue weight. The installation on this is really simple, step by step. It even has the instructions on it for torquing and everything else. So a couple things that we're going to need. The tools, the only tools we'll need are a torque wrench, a 15/16 socket, a 1/4 inch Allen wrench, and I'd suggest getting a long 1/4 inch Allen wrench because you're going to need that when you put on the portion on the actual gooseneck itself. The parts that come with the hitch when you get it to take it out of the box are the Andersen hitch itself, obviously. The centerpiece portion that goes up in the middle, this is where your ball is going to be going up and through and securing to this. 2 small bolts to secure it in the front, 1 large bolt to secure in the top, and the actual goose ball itself that's going to be going into the receiver of the fifth wheel. And then 2 pins, which are identical, 2 pins with cotter pins. I opted for the mat and the Andersen gooseneck itself, which you could use any regular gooseneck ball in your truck. And I also got the chain bracket and the chains that come with it. I got the chains because some people, there's arguments all over the internet that you need chains on a gooseneck, and then there's other people saying this isn't a gooseneck, it's an Andersen fifth wheel adapter. I just opted to get the chains that way. If I'm in a state, because I plan on traveling quite a few states, if I'm in a state that they require chains, or you get an officer that says, well, we require chains, I don't plan on going back to court to fight a citation that he could give me. So I just got the chain package, the rubber mat. The rubber mat goes down in the front. Once it's in, it's pretty secure. It's not going to move left to right, but I have seen in a video where it kind of cantilevered at one point. So I just opted for the rubber mat and the chains and the actual Andersen goose itself. So simply to get going on this, where we'll start, we'll just put the portions of this together and show you how easy this goes in. I mean, it's a really simple process. This thing, I think they say, only weighs 30 pounds. So you can take it in and out. You can leave this in the middle of your truck if you want to, or just, take it out completely. I choose to take it out completely because it's a matter of 15 minutes and you're done with it. So going over the centerpiece here, this is the piece where you're going to have one of these pins that are ultimately going to go through here. It simply goes up the center of the hitch itself. So what you've got here, the hitch, a very easy way to do it. Just lift the hitch, throw it in there, and just let it drop on it. Once it's dropped on it, you can raise this by hand and take the long bolt with the nylon washer and the regular washer right through the top. Simply snug this down. So it's got some play in it. The other 2 are set bolts, and these are all the same size with the 15/16, I believe it is. So we put the 2 snug bolts in the front here. You can see that. And I don't torque these down yet. You just gotta wait till you put the rest of the components in. Now, the ball itself that you get from Andersen is going to have 3 different height adjustments. I've found that the perfect height adjustment for mine just so happens to be, which is the top one. This simply just goes right in the center, drop it down, and you can see, it'll go all the way through, but you can see the hole there, which is for the simple cotter pin. Find the correct height for yours. Once that's in, put the pin in, put your cotter pin in, and that's in there. It also does have a set Allen wrench back here. Now this Allen wrench is the same size as the one you're going to be using for the component that attaches actually to the front of the fifth wheel. It's a 1/4 inch, and this is simply just a set so you don't have this jangles all over with it without this in here. So you simply just tighten this down. There's no torque specs on this. Just simply tighten it down, and I think it's just a set pin for the most part, so now you don't have the jingle jangle. Don't want to drive down the road with jingle jangles. Well, that's Christmas time and you play your jingle jangle music. Now when you're putting this in your truck, you've got to figure out whether you want your fifth wheel set further forward or further back. I happen to have an 8-foot bed, so when I set mine in, I can either do it forward or back. I do like to do it further to the rear. It just gives me more turning room. So simply what I'll do with the mat that I have here, it's all cut out. Let's move this. I have a puck system in my truck here, which came standard with it, so it makes it very easy to set this up. I don't have to do anything other than put the actual gooseneck attachment in there. The rubber mat has a hole in the middle. Obviously goes directly over where the pin is going to go for your truck. We'll try to center that up. Once you have that centered, if you have the chain adapter, this is where you don't want to forget to put your chain adapter in. That simply goes over the hole for the two chains to attach, and then your goose ball is a pull lever. Simply releases these two balls and connects them. So once you put that in, simply send it in, put it in, pull this, and it's going to drop. Release that, and that's in there now. That's not going anywhere. That's exactly where it's supposed to go. The next thing is simply putting the hitch over the top of this plunge pin that they've got here, which gooseneck ball. If you're just using a regular gooseneck ball, the only reason I got this is because it was a part of the package that I bought. The square tube that's there simply falls down right over the hole, just like that. Once that's in, you straighten it up. You're going to loosen this nut that you tightened up a little bit earlier, because what this does is it allows you to take this pin. If you can see in here, it allows you to take this pin, and this pin is simply going to go right in here. So what you have to do is you just have to find the height of this by simply loosening or tightening this, which drops it and raises it. May need to do it a few times, and then you can see it slides right through. Once that's through, the only other thing you have to do on this is secure it down. And like I said, I usually keep my pin further back because I do have the hitch there, and of course, you know, as normal, I've put it on backwards, which isn't a problem, because with this hitch pin system, it's simple. Once you've got this on, throw your counter pin in there. These bolts are still loose. Nothing has been set. You can simply just turn it around. And once it's turned around, you're all set. You may have to adjust your rubber mat a little bit, but other than that, it's all set. Now once you have the hitch set on the gooseneck pin with that cotter pin, there's only 3 bolts. You've got the top bolt and the 2 on the back side there, or front side, depending on where you put your ball. This is where you need wow, what it is, it's so old, your 15/16 socket. So you have the 3 bolts, the 2 on the front or back side, and the top. The top is on there, it says 60 to 70 foot-pounds, and I believe the 2 set ones on the back are 45 foot-pounds on there. So I'll start off with just a regular socket. Tighten this down. Basically what this is doing is pulling this up from that ball. And then these 2 sets. Once those are on, I'll set my torque wrench to the 60 to 70, 65. Tighten this down and simply torque this to spec. So the torque wrench I purchased was kind of a cheapie from Harbor Freight. Just have to put an adapter on in order to get it to fit my socket. If I can get the right adapter. Try it again. Once you get the right adapter, put it on, set that up, now you're all set. There it is. And then just adjust for the 2 in the front. Take that down to, I'm gonna go with 55. That's it. That's the portion that's all set. So now that's installing the actual portion of the back of the truck. The pin on the tongue, not difficult at all. The only thing with the pin on the tongue is that it does take an Allen wrench, and the Allen wrench that it takes is actually a 1/4 inch. The problem is this 1/4 inch, when you go to put it in, it needs more than that. So I'd suggest just head out like I did, Harbor Freight, wherever you get your tools. If you go get the snap-on ones, then go get the snap-on or whatever. Just get the extended 1/4, because when you put it inside the other thing that I'll show you in a little bit, you'll see that it's not, this isn't going to reach, unfortunately. So you do have to purchase one of these. Then that's the portion of the hitch itself that is installed, and then I'll get working on the other portion in a minute.